Chongqing, widely recognized as one of China's most prominent exhibition cities, is also celebrated as the world's hot spring capital. Believe it or not, the breathtaking footage of this city isn't the product of artificial intelligence. Dubbed the cyberpunk city, Chongqing boasts an almost magical display of futuristic urban landscapes. Its iconic features include neon-lit skyscrapers and vibrant digital billboards, which have become synonymous with the city's dynamic image, especially for its famed Chinese hot pot cuisine. However, while Chongqing has emerged as a hub of technological innovation and cutting-edge architecture, it also faces significant social and environmental challenges lurking beneath its shimmering exterior. Chongqing, one of the largest cities in southwest China, faces significant challenges as it strives to adopt a sustainable development model. Over the past 2 decades, rapid urbanization in the city has led to the creation of an inefficient urban structure. Strategic land reserves have dwindled drastically due to uncontrolled land expansion, while urban density continues to rise at an alarming rate. If this trend persists, the city's remaining land reserves, estimated at approximately 800 square kilometers, are projected to be exhausted within just 20 years. Adding to these concerns, the dense urbanization has exacerbated air and water pollution, posing serious threats to the quality of life for millions of residents. On the brighter side, Chongqing's growing popularity is partly fueled by its unique infrastructure, such as highways constructed atop high-rise buildings, offering drivers the extraordinary experience of traversing the city while enjoying breathtaking aerial views. Equally fascinating are the escalators integrated into some residential areas of Chongqing, designed to help residents easily and quickly move between different levels of the city. This multi-layered urban design includes interconnected roads, bridges, and tunnels that seamlessly link various districts, cutting across valleys and rivers in a way that is both functional and visually striking. Yet, beneath this remarkable exterior, the city's modernization often comes at a steep cost for its low-income residents. Evictions in older neighborhoods have forced many families to relocate to substandard housing, or, in some cases, left them homeless. Social inequality has also become increasingly apparent as illegal activities such as drug use and sexual exploitation frequently occur behind the dazzling facade of the city's nightlife. Despite its unique charm, the rapid wave of modernization in Chongqing comes with significant social challenges. The shift from rural life or traditional urban lifestyles to a sophisticated urban environment has created psychological pressures for many residents. Older generations and rural migrants often feel out of place in this ever-evolving metropolis. While Chongqing is vast, most of its population actually resides in concentrated clusters of high-rise apartment complexes. These towering residential buildings are a hallmark of the city, combining housing on the upper levels with offices and commercial spaces below. However, this design often blocks sunlight from reaching the lower areas, creating shaded spaces that feel stifling, as if they lack fresh air. Interestingly, Chongqing does not have slum areas like those found in other major cities. Instead, it features transitional zones known as urban villages. These areas are home to rural migrants seeking better opportunities. While the housing here is more affordable, the infrastructure is frequently underdeveloped. Migrants in these neighborhoods typically work demanding jobs in construction, restaurants, or retail, earning modest wages and having limited access to essential social services like healthcare and housing programs. On a more progressive note, Chongqing has been a pioneer in experimenting with reforms to the hukou system, China's household registration policy. Although efforts have been made to grant migrants more rights, they still face barriers in accessing the full social benefits available to native urban residents. In areas such as Yeshuigu, one can find houses over 40 years old that stand in stark contrast to the city's modern skyline. Despite their age, these homes retain a distinct appeal and often sell for higher prices than newer properties in modern districts. Many older residents believe these neighborhoods, particularly in places like Huangni Village, exude the authentic spirit of Chongqing, offering a glimpse into the city's original charm amid its rapid transformation. Land disputes are a uniquely prominent issue in Chongqing, but have you ever heard of the term stubborn nail or nail house? This phenomenon describes homeowners who refuse to vacate or surrender their property to developers or the government, even under pressure, threats, or offers of compensation. The term draws from the imagery of a house sticking out like a stubborn nail in the middle of large-scale construction projects. One of the most famous cases occurred in 2004 in Chongqing, when the city was rocked by a high-profile stubborn nail dispute. The home of Wu Ping and Yang Wu became a symbol of resistance to land rights violations. Despite the surrounding area being entirely leveled to make way for a shopping mall, they refused to move. Their house famously stood atop a 17-meter-high mound of earth in the midst of an active construction site, displaying a Chinese flag atop their home. The couple held press conferences and demanded that the property rights of ordinary citizens be respected. Initially, the couple insisted on a replacement home of equal size in the same area, along with 1 million yuan as compensation for the loss of the successful restaurant they operated from their home. In the end, they reached a settlement that provided them with a new property worth approximately 3 million yuan, about $390,000, and an additional $900,000 in yuan as compensation for the hardships they endured. This included the cutting of their water and electricity, and the blocking of access to their home during the 3-year standoff. Once an agreement was reached, the house was demolished, allowing the project to proceed. As explored in a DW documentary, the right to live in urban China comes with many conditions. The Chinese government envisions its modern cities populated by individuals with advanced education, professional qualifications, or strong political connections. Consequently, only a select group of people can fully qualify to reside in urban areas with access to modern facilities. However, the reality in China's major cities tells a different story. More than half of the urban population consists of rural migrant workers. These individuals leave their farming communities in search of better livelihoods in the city, but are often denied official rights to settle permanently. The hukou system, China's household registration policy, limits their access to essential urban services such as education, healthcare, and proper housing. In the early 2000s, Chongqing, one of China's largest cities, faced a significant surge in organized crime. Local gangs were deeply involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including extortion, prostitution, gambling, drug trafficking, and money laundering. Instead of combating these crimes, many local officials and police officers either turned a blind eye or actively colluded with these violent criminal operations. In 2009, Bo Xilai, the then Communist Party chief of Chongqing, launched a sweeping campaign to dismantle organized crime in the city. Dubbed the Strike Black campaign, the operation mobilized thousands of police officers to target local gangs and their networks. Within a short period, over 4,700 individuals were arrested, including 19 alleged crime bosses, hundreds of triad members, and numerous corrupt officials from the police force, government, and Communist Party. Among the notable arrests was Li Qiang, a notorious gang leader who controlled an extensive criminal network in Chongqing. The Chongqing gang trials became one of China's largest crackdowns on organized crime, capturing widespread public attention in 2009. The operation exposed a vast web of criminal organizations linked to corrupt government and police officials. Trials began later that year with intense media coverage. While many of the defendants faced open court proceedings, cases involving high-ranking officials were conducted behind closed doors due to their sensitive nature. This anti-crime campaign, while praised for its effectiveness, also sparked controversy. Critics questioned the legality of some trials and alleged that the campaign served as a political tool for Bo Xilai to bolster his image. Nevertheless, the trials marked a turning point in Chongqing's fight against corruption and organized crime, leaving a lasting impact on the city's governance and public trust. Chongqing, one of China's 4 directly administered municipalities alongside Beijing, Shanghai, and Tianjin, grapples with a hallmark urban issue: air pollution. As of 2024, the city's air quality index, AQI, remains in the moderate category, fluctuating between 55 and 75. However, this level still exceeds the World Health Organization's annual safety standard by 2.3 times. Contributing factors include emissions from heavy industries, coal combustion, and a growing number of vehicles on the roads. The city's geography presents an additional challenge. Surrounded by mountains, Chongqing's topography traps polluted air, making it difficult for it to disperse. This issue is exacerbated during winter, when still, humid conditions create a persistent layer of thick smog. Not only does this reduce visibility, but it also allows pollutants to linger in the air for longer periods, complicating mitigation efforts. While measures to curb pollution from private vehicles have seen some success, the city's public transportation system has paradoxically added to the problem. Between 2016 and 2020, Chongqing expanded its subway system by approximately 168 kilometers, with an additional 200 kilometers of subway lines currently under construction. This expansion has significantly boosted daily ridership, which jumped from an average of 1.7 million passengers to 3.9 million. The share of rail transit trips in central urban areas increased from 12.4% to 18.1%, raising the overall proportion of public transportation use from 20% to 33%.